There we go. So yeah, I just want this to be sort of an open forum as to sort of sharing ideas on how to get PRV. So there'll be a different topic every month. And I did say to Claire this morning, actually, I'm going to get a couple of other consultants outside of our team to come in and do some lives into the group as well. So I did a live into Georgie Snedden's group, who's a director under Lisa Allwood. And although I think she's under Carly, who's under Lisa, but either way, she's in Lisa's downline. And she is an absolute whiz at outdoor stalls, so markets and that sort of thing. So, and that's not really something that I do. So I thought the best thing to do would be bring someone in that knows what they're doing. And Georgie's brilliant at them. And she smashes like well over 2,000 PRV. She's already on 1,000 PRV already this month. So yeah, so she's brilliant. So I will bring her in at some point to have a chat to us about external markets and in-person events, for you guys to sort of listen to her and see what her tips are. But first of all, tonight we're talking about boosting PRV. So I did this subject first because this for me is the bread and butter of your business. Selling and getting that PRV in is what's going to pay your wages ultimately. So if we talk about money, I will put the income disclosure when I share the recording, because obviously we have to do that when we talk about anything to do with money. But I have a little challenge for you all though, and I would like you to do this, and I would like you to post in the group when you've done it. I'd like you to pick a day, any day, hopefully a day when you're working your Scentsy business, but any day. And what I want you to do is I want you to track every single thing you do that day. And I mean everything. You can kind of miss off going to the toilet, but things like if you pick your phone up to scroll Facebook, if you pick your phone up to scroll Instagram, if you go to work, like your traditional normal job, if you go to work, if you message a customer, if you have your dinner, if you go out for coffee with a friend, if you do the school run, I want you to get a little notebook, carry it with you and write everything down for that one day that you pick. And what I want to do is I want you to then, so basically, people say they don't have time to do this business. So I want you to realize the time that you do have to do this business. And I think you'll be shocked. Now I've done this. And there are so many times that I pick my phone up to just scroll. It's ridiculous. So yeah. And I switched my thing on as well. On my iPhone, I switched my like screen time thing that tells me like what time I spend on apps and stuff. And it's really, no, Natalie's coming in now. It really shocked me how much time I actually had that I could have been working my business. So yeah, so that is my challenge to you. Pick a day, track everything that you do, and then write it all down and then share in the group when you've done it. I'll pop a post up so you can share it. And let's see how much time we actually have to be able to work our business, because I think you'll all be really surprised. So this is from The Compound Effect. So I read The Compound Effect a few weeks ago, finished it a few weeks ago. Probably one of the best books I've ever read. It is really up there with literally one of the best ones I've ever read. So if you haven't read it, read it. But it talks about time and changing sort of the small things. So if you change something little every single day, it makes a massive effect long term. So if you say to yourself, right, okay, I'm going to do an extra post every single day for 6 months, the amount of visibility you'll get just from doing that extra one post, which will take you a couple of minutes, will be massive over a 6-month period of time. So it's about the long game. And that's what network marketing is. It's the long game. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It never has been. People think it is, but it's not. It is about the long game. It's about putting the work in, putting that consistency in, and reaping the rewards at a later date. So yes, that is my challenge to you. But that aside, let's talk about PRV. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a customer group. If you don't have one, you really need one, because there are lots of different things that you can do. You can run your business however you want. But for me, having a customer group is probably one of the most important things I've done in this business. So most of you know that I ran a network marketing business before Scentsy, and I only had a page. I didn't have a group, and I didn't really know that many of my customers. I didn't get to know them. I sold a few books, did a few events, boosted a few posts, and kind of just got by, really. So when I did Scentsy, I kind of stalked Laura and Lisa and all the others and looked at what they were doing, and obviously watched Laura's boot camp, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a customer group. So I did it completely differently. I opened up my customer group. Now I still have a business page, and the way I see it is my business page is like my shop window. So it's all sales posts, really. It's all posts about what we do, what products we've got, what's on offer, the join kit. It's all very much marketing materials from Workstation, or there are a few real life photos on there, but mainly sort of proper photos, as I call them. Whereas my customer group is a little hub of all about me, all about Scentsy, all about my customers, what they love. You know, they post, and Annie will know this because she was in my customer group as a customer for a long time. And I encourage people to post in there. I want to know what their favorite fragrance is. I want to know what their favorite warmer is. I want to know where their warmer is. And I want to get to know who they are. And a lot of my customers have become friends. People that I wasn't friends with before are now friends. And, you know, I talk to them on the doorstep, and they come and collect orders, and they talk to me, and they know Emily, and, you know, it's literally like a little vlog of my life. So they know everything, because it makes them trust me, and it makes them like me, hopefully, which then makes them buy from me. And they trust my judgment as well. And I'm completely honest. I've said this before. I don't like car bars. I never have. I just don't think they're very strong or worth the money. So I push scent circles over car bars, and people are like, yeah, but they're cheaper. I'm like, I know, but I prefer them. So, you know, and my customers understand that. So having a customer group is probably one of the biggest things when you first start your business, or even if you haven't got one and you've been doing it for a while. Think about starting up a customer group. You know, the first thing you do is you invite all your friends and family, because, you know, that's the people that you know, that's natural. But after 3 to 6 months, it is quite common that your friends and family may stop buying from you. They might not, but 9 times out of 10 they will. So it's at that point that you've got to push through, and you've got to start to find new customers. And that's where we come on to other things like referral. Claire's obviously helped me write these notes, and I'm literally like flitting between them all, because sometimes some things flow into other things. So referral is probably one of the biggest ways that I've grown my customer group and my customer base. So it happens naturally sometimes. Sometimes people will just add people in because they love Scentsy as much as we do, and they just naturally add other people in and be like, oh, I love this, you know, you should try it. And they add people into my group. And sometimes I physically ask them. So I will be on the get a message from them, and, you know, they want to order, and I'll just ask if they've got anybody that they want to refer me to. Have you got anyone else that would love Scentsy as much as you do? Can you refer me? Now I have a referral scheme. So if somebody refers a friend or family member to me, and that person places an order, the person that referred them will get a gift. Now it's only ever a gift. So I don't tell them what they're going to get, because that could be, depending on the order, it could be a wax bar, it could be a scent circle, it could be a sample pack. You've got to do what works for you. For me, it's normally a wax bar, because I have so many that I just have them knocking around. If it's somebody that I've got to post it out to, it'll be a scent circle, because it's cheaper. And you can post that in letter form, so it's just a stamp. Stick a bit of glitter in it, stick a little thank you note in it, and they're more than happy with that. Someone's waiting again. I don't know who this is though, because I've got no name. There we go. So yeah, so I have a referral scheme, and that has probably, I think my customer group was about 90 from the people that I just added that I knew, and it's now at 255, and it's grown a little bit actually recently. I've had another 15 people in the last few months, and that's just from people referring. And that's not massive, because some people have got a lot more people than that, but I did call mine quite a lot. I called it with people that didn't want to be in there. I actually messaged them and asked them if they wanted to be in there because they'd not bought from me. Some of them said no, so I removed them. Some of them said yes, so I left them, and some of them completely ghosted me and have done for 2 years, so I removed them. So there probably would have been another maybe 50 people in there, but I just I got rid of them, because I'd rather not have them in there, because they're not helping with the algorithm, they're not helping my business, because then you get the people that just watch, but I think you get a feel for like what people are doing and who people are. So I don't tend to message people that have been referred. So if they've been referred by somebody and they've just gone, okay, they don't know what it's about, I will message them and say, oh, you know, this is what it's about, do you want a sample pack? And if they ignore me, then I just tend to remove them. And I think, well, if they're interested, they'll add me back, they'll come back in. And it hasn't done my business any harm. In fact, it's made my group better. I've worked hard on my customer group, and it's really interactive. And I think removing those people has really helped. So don't be afraid to remove people that aren't interacting in your group. It will definitely make a difference. So that's referrals. I'm just trying to think what we can go on to next, which will help sort of flow in. So consistency, probably. Consistency is probably the biggest thing that I think people don't do, and it will boost your PRV. So all these things I'm talking about at the minute have nothing to do with sales. Have you noticed? Like, I've not actually told you to sell a product yet. I've not actually said about selling anything. And that's because you've got to do the prep work before you can get the sales. And consistency is the biggest, most important thing I can ever tell you to do. So consistency isn't absolutely killing yourself and posting 7 or 8 times a day, every single day. Consistency is just showing up every single day in some way, shape or form. Now, there are some days that I don't post a lot about Sensei. There are some days that I just post what I'm doing in my normal day to day, because there are some days that is just where it is. But it's better than not posting at all, because actually those posts that I'm posting about what I'm getting up to are the ones that get the interaction. So then when I do post about Sensei, they get seen more, and that's how the algorithm works. So you've got to work it to your advantage. And just posting a shed load of Sensei, what does Lisa say? Be Sensei sick over somebody. Just literally posting all about Sensei, as much as I love it and I could post about it all day, every day, people are going to switch off, because they're going to see the same post over and over again, and they're just not going to look at it. Whereas if they're seeing me or Emily, or like what did I post the other day? Gymnastics videos of Emily at a competition, because that's where I was. They're going to stop, because they're nosy, and they're going to see what I'm doing and what I'm getting up to, and they're going to want to see what you're doing and what you're getting up to. So don't be afraid to post about you and about your life. And it's, you know, I use my customer group now like my personal profile. So sometimes I'll post up on my customer group and forget to post on my personal profile, because I use that as my profile, because it's what I love to do, and my business is important to me. So for me, updating my customers about what I'm doing and what's happening in my life is actually really important to me, and they love it. So that's what we do. So consistency is definitely something that has, you know, I remember in the early days when I first started. Now I had this with my other company, but it was different because it wasn't a group. So a group is a little bit intimate, I think, like, and you do feel a bit like, oh my God, I'm literally posting and nobody's like interacting. And everybody feels like that, everybody. You know, it is human nature to feel disheartened when people don't interact with your posts. That is the way it is. But what you've got to realize is they probably haven't seen it, because I tell you now, the amount of posts that you know, if you do scroll, if you spent an hour scrolling, I guarantee there will be people's posts that you missed, because Facebook only show you what they want to show you. You know, I remember looking through my phone the other day, and it's like post from 5 days ago, and I was like, I never saw that 5 days ago, but I'm seeing it now. So, you know, don't get disheartened and keep going. The consistency that you show, Facebook will reward you with, you know, with the algorithm and people seeing your posts. And it does take a while, but believe me, it works. Because I don't post random stuff about, do you prefer tea or coffee, or how do you, you know, put your jam and cream on a scone. I don't have those posts in my group to get interaction, because I don't need to, because everything that I post that I want to post just gets interaction naturally, because I've been so consistent. So try not to get disheartened, post regularly, And it's pretty much a bit like opening your shop, which I've said this a lot. I do a morning post, which is me opening my shop, basically. And I'm really a massive advocate for a morning post, because it does let people know that you're still there and that you're still doing it. Because believe me, if you don't post and they don't see you, you'll be invisible, they won't buy from you. They'll go find someone else. Because I've had people come to me, customers come to me to say that their consultant's not doing it anymore. Whether they are or not, I don't know. But if you're not visible and you're not present, then they will find another consultant. And it is that brutal, but that is just the way it is. If I rocked up to my local Sainsbury's, we've got little Sainsbury's down the road, and I kept going and it kept being closed, I would go to a different one. Because if I need bread and milk, I need bread and milk. If people need wax melts and you're not around, they're going to find it from someone else. So consistency is definitely probably the biggest takeaway. If you can take anything away from this training, it's to be consistent, because that is one of the most important things that I've learned in this business. So yeah, that's right. Okay, that's all right. My notes are like literally, I've just done bullet points because I get a bit all over the place when I'm trying to read notes. Okay, the next thing. So this is how I built my business. Aside from consistency, this is actual physical, tangible stuff. Sample packs are my favorite thing. And I told Claire I was going to make one up so I could show you, but I haven't done that. But I have got some stuff to hand. So I got waylaid earlier. Honestly, my office is a tip. But I've got half of one. So sample packs are probably the one thing that I've done more so than borrow bags. I love a borrow bag, but for me, for my customers, sample packs work better, and it will be different for different people. I know Claire is like a massive advocate for a borrow bag. She's always got her borrow bag out, which is amazing. For me, sample packs works better, but you'll find your way. You'll find what works best for you. But sample packs are like the best thing, because if you can get it under their nose, you can sell it, because they don't know that Scentsy has the best wax melts without smelling them. You can tell them till you're blue in the face, but actually getting them under their noses is the way that you're going to sell it. And this is the best way to do it. So I always stick a scented sticker on mine. This one's got chamomile petals on it, so it's normally a scent of the month one. This one hasn't got my details on it actually, because I've run out of stickers. I've literally just bought more, but I haven't got any stickers. But I've got a little sticker that has a QR code on it that goes in the bottom corner there. I've shared all this stuff before, so if you search it in Squad, you'll be able to find it. I always put a catalogue in, because I love a catalogue. Like, I love to flip through a catalogue. But I always keep a catalogue from every season. So I've got one for every season that I've joined. And I'm always flicking through it to like remember what products we've got, because there are so many. Like, you just forget. Like I mean, when was the last time you shared that warmer there? Probably haven't bothered, because there's just so many things. It's the gold cracked marble. So do you know what I mean? So I always have a catalogue in there, because you can't beat it. They look amazing. I have a little leaflet there. These have been redesigned because I changed my branding, so this has changed over time. So this is basically a little bit, it's just, I hope you enjoy your Scentsy samples. Grab a cuppa with tea bag, and have a flick through the catalogue. Don't forget to write a review on my group or on your page or Insta stories and tag me in too. Tell your friends, and if they order, receive a little gift from me. Now I can put that on there because it's one-to-one. So when you offer a referral, you have to be really careful with the wording for compliance, because you can't be seen to be sort of bribing someone to order in public. That's Scentsy rules. So, but because this is one-to-one, because it's going in the sample pack, then it's okay to do it. And then there's a little photo of me, and it says lots of love, Emma, and an independent Scentsy consultant on the bottom. And then on the back, so this used to be blank. So that was it. That's all I used to put. And then this used to be blank. So I decided to change that. And I put on there how to order. So I put text or WhatsApp, which has got my number on it. Join my Facebook group with a QR code. And then payment options. So my PayPal is on there, and my bank account details are on there, so they can bank transfer me. So all of that is on the leaflet. I then put a business card in. which again has got scan to shop. So that's a QR code from my website, just in case they leave this somewhere. You never know. And it's got my telephone number, my email address, and my name and my logo. That's it. Really simple. But the most important thing on there is the QR code, because that goes straight to my website, and that is where people will hopefully be spending their money. So yeah, so the leaflet, the business card, tea bag, catalogue, and then samples. So these are my samples. My bags match because that's just the kind of person I am. These little labels are from the R2CLP group. So I am not reinventing the wheel. I don't have time to reinvent the wheel. So I use what tools we have. So I use the same labels that they do, which is the, where are they? Got them somewhere. Not sure where they've gone. Anyway, the link is in the group. So the link is in the top part of the group. If you're not in the group, I will go through again. Every so often I go through the groups and I add some of our team if they're not in there. But I'll share the link to the group in Squad. So if you're not in there, you can have a look. But basically, Claire Watson, who is a director on, again, in Lisa's downline, she and some of her team have literally done all of these. Like, and every new wax we get, they do new labels. Absolutely brilliant. So it has, this one's coconuts for coconuts. So it has all the CLP stuff there. And then this is the sticker that I put on the front of my sample pack, and I put it on the back of every single sample, because if the person I give this to doesn't like it and they pass it on to somebody else, they need to know where it's come from. And that QR code there goes straight to my website. So that's what goes in. And I'm quite generous. I normally put about 3 or 4 samples in. Normally, if it's brand new, I will normally put things like Clothesline, Luna, Sea Salt Avocado, World Traveller, those sorts of things. These ones are for my customers. So at the moment, I'm going through the catalogue and ordering a different 6-pack every time. So my customers are getting to know all the scents. And that's me sampling with intent, because if I sample the same things all the time, the customers are just going to like the same things and buy the same things. Whereas if I sample things that I've not done before, I get more orders. So that's that. And that's it. That is what's in my sample pack. And, you know, they love them. And that's how I built my business. So at the moment, I'm trying to build new customers in my local area. So I'm posting about sample packs. So I'm sharing my page everywhere. Anyone that likes my page is getting a message. They're getting a friend request, a message, and asking if they want a sample pack. And I'm posting in more community groups. I'm using the Nextdoor app because they're all local. And I'm offering out sample packs. Because to be quite honest, these are no good sat on my desk in my office. Yes, they cost money, but ultimately, they're costing me more money just sat here doing nothing. So for me, get them out. If you've got a dental surgery, doctor's surgery, stick your details on them, stick them in the waiting room. How long? I mean, I was at the doctor's of the week, 30 minutes I was waiting. I'd quite happily flip through a Sensi catalogue for 30 minutes. So get your catalogues out, because they are no good to you in your home. So that's sample packs. There is loads of stuff on sample packs in the group. So, and I did a whole live on it as well. So if you search it, you'll be able to find it, and there's a little bit more information. And I think the links are knocking around somewhere as well, to like the bags and the tea bags and all the rest of it. So that is sample packs, literally one of my favorite things. I love making them up and I love handing them out. They're like little gifts. And I'll tell you a story. I went to Emily's best friend's birthday party the other week. And because it's Emily's best friend, I can kind of get away with it a little bit. And Lisa does buy from me. But I took loads of sample packs, and Chris was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm taking sample packs for the mums." He was like, "You're going to give them out?" I was like, "Damn right, I'm giving them out." so literally all the mums like came, because it was like a 2-hour thing with the scientists. Don't ask. And then all the mums came after. And I said to them, I was like, all the kids are getting party bags, so I thought I'd bring my own. I literally gave them one sample bag. And one of them wants to book a party, and the other one wants to order because she's never used wax melts like it before. And I was like, that is a win. So yeah, use what you can with who you can, and don't be afraid just to give a sample pack out, because the worst thing that can happen is they say, no, I don't want it, thanks. I've had one person say that to me, and that was a neighbour who's now moved. who I put it through their door, and I just messaged them saying, I've just dropped a sample pack through your door. I really hope you like it. And they were like, we won't order, so we're going to give you back. I was like, what? Anyway, they've moved now. So I'm actually going to do a new drop of my neighbours, because we've had a couple of new ones in recently. So I'm actually going to do that again and hope that somebody doesn't want to give me back. But yeah, but the worst that happened is they gave it back. I mean, they didn't. I said, don't worry, pass it on to someone else. And they kept it. But yeah, that was funny. A funny story. So the next thing is borrow bags. Now, I do have a borrow bag. I've actually got 3, and they do go out. They actually go out to existing customers as well. So never ever forget to give your existing customers a borrow bag, because 1, they've never tried all the products. 2, they've never tried all the scents, and sometimes they just want to refresh. Like, I have a really good customer who always has the new scents every season, because she loves to sniff the new scents. Her and her daughter literally sit there and just like go through them all and sniff them all. And they spend like a few days doing it, because obviously you get a bit nose blind. And they always buy wax from me all the time. So it's a good idea to offer your borrow bag not only to new customers but to existing customers, because you'd be surprised. And if you know they've got a warmer, put in a wall fan. If you know they use hand cream, put in a counter clean. You know, pop all those. I know Claire's done this recently where she's got a customer. I think, is your customer got a warmer? And she got some, I can't remember what she's got, but you put some different things in, didn't you?
I was literally just typing it in the chat, but I might as well speak. It's taken me ages to type it. So she asked if she could try the wash whips, just off the back of a post that I'd put in my customer group about them again, and that was me, just a picture of it in front of my washing that was hanging on the line. I didn't even put the price or anything. She asked if she can use the wash whips. And then I said, well, you've not tried any of the laundry products, so I've got the matching scent in the laundry liquid. I'll throw that in. While you're at it, do you want to try some other bits and bobs that you've not had before? So she had a mini fan and pass, laundry liquid, washer whiffs. She had some Scentsy Fresh, fragrance mist, hand cream, all in like different scents. So she's still got it. So I think she's going to give it me back in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say, never forget your existing customers, because you're bound to find something that they haven't tried before. Definitely. Or a scent that they haven't tried before.
In fact, Annie is a perfect example of that. Annie has had a warmer from me pretty much from the start, because I did a party and Annie ordered a warmer and has always ordered wax from me. And you tried the laundry when I gave you a laundry borrow bag, and now Annie is a complete laundry convert, and obviously now a teammate, so you know, because she tried the laundry. And you know, and if I'm right, Annie, I don't think you would have bought it off the cuff, because more than likely the price, but actually after trying it and realizing how far it goes and how amazing it is, you obviously decided to bite the bullet.
Yeah, it was the price that put me off. But like you say, because it's so concentrated, it's the same cost as regular laundry, really.
Yeah, with a lot less chemicals.
I've even had to buy a new washing machine so I can use it to its best.
So yeah, so literally don't forget your existing customers, but also, you know, give it out to your thingy customers as well, your brand new customers as well. And this is why I'm trying to build locally, because it's an experience, Scentsy. Like the fragrance and stuff, it is an experience. It's not just a product that you buy and you sort of put in a cupboard. It is all about the scent, and it's all about the experience. It doesn't matter whether it's washing, whether it's hand cream, whether it's wax and warmers. It is literally about the experience, and scent really does evoke memories. And you know, I think people really understand that when they've actually got the products in their home. So a borrow bag is a great thing. And it doesn't have to be a bag, it can be a box, it can be whatever you want it to be. I mean, I've had boxes that I've given people to take into work. I've taken them into work myself. You know, it really does. And you can tailor it as well. So, you know, if you work somewhere where people's hands are going to get constantly dry, taking a hand cream, because, you know, you'll know that that's what they're going to buy. So I'll share this as well. I think I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. So this is my little note that I put in my borrow bag, which is slightly different. So I do like a big sample pack, and I normally do samples that are a bit bigger, that they can warm in the warmers that I'm giving them in the borrow bag. So a bit more like a whole cube. And this says, simply plug in the warmer and pop in a cube of wax. Obviously, if you've not put a warmer in there, you could change that. And away you go. Use the wall fan and pods, hand cream and counter clean. When you're done, simply soak up with cotton wool and pop in a new cube. It's as simple as that. Make a cup or enjoy your treat. Browse the catalogue and sniff the whiff pots. And I always put biscuits in my borrow bag, not in my sample packs, because they smell of wax. These beauties are for sniffing purposes only, not to be warmed. So I always put that in, because I've never had someone try and warm a sample pot before, but I know people that have. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Can't wait to hear your favourites. Happy sniffing. And that's it. Again, it's got my photo on it. And it's just in with the sample pack, in with the borrow bag. And I also put a couple of extra catalogues in there, order forms in there, or an order book. I've had an order book before. And I also ask if they know anybody that they want to pass it on to. Do they want to take it into work? You know, do they want to collect some orders out, you know, and offer them a shopping link, offer them the opportunity to grab more orders than, you know, than just theirs. Because that's what borrow bags are for. It's like a mini party on the go. And they work really well. People taking them to work works really well, because it's really easy to like leave them in a kitchen or pass them around colleagues at work at the desk and stuff. And I don't mean, you know, if you're anything like me, when I work in an office, it's really boring. So if you get something like Scentsy in the staff room, everybody will love it, because it's something different to the run-of-the-mill day-to-day boring office work. So yeah, that's borrow bags. So the next thing is talking about borrow bag parties is parties. Parties are such a great way to get PRV. I've had a fair few in my time. They are not my bread and butter, because a lot of my sales are done online, and that is how I run my business. Because we are part of, you know, me and Chris are a blended family. We have the kids once every other weekend, and we have his kids in the week. So parties sometimes are a bit difficult for me because of timings and when we've got the kids and that sort of thing. So it's not something that I do a lot of, but when I do, the PRV is always amazing, because you can't beat being in a room with people with all of your gear. And it doesn't matter if you've got one warmer or 20 warmers. One warmer is enough, as long as they can smell that wax and they can see that light throw, and whichever warmer you take with you, they will fall in love with it. And the whiff pot bags, they love them. They literally love them. Like, you've got people like squirreling away little like that parts. I remember after a party, one of my customers' houses, I was like going down the sides of the sofas, because they'd like stuff them down the side of the sofa where they were trying to keep hold of them, because that's what the scents that they like. And I was like, I'm missing a few pots, and they were like down the sofa, because they were keeping them because that's the ones they liked. And you'll find that people like certain colours as well. It's hilarious. Like, someone was there, they liked all the blue ones, so they like keeping all the blue ones. And then the other people were like, well, can I sniff them? I'm like, yeah, but you got to give them back. And honestly, it's hilarious. So parties are amazing. I absolutely love them. In-person party. So I've done all sorts of parties. I've done online. I did a Zoom launch party because we were still in lockdown when I joined. I can't remember. I don't think we could meet up. We could meet up outside, but it was too cold to do that. So I did a Zoom like this with my starter kit, sorry. And I actually got quite a few orders from that. I managed to hit shooting star, so I did all right. And then I had a party at a friend's house, and that's what Annie came to. And, you know, it just went from there. And then I've had a couple of customers, and, you know, I've asked people and they've said no. I've asked people and they've said when my kitchen's done, or when my house is sorted, or, you know, all those things. And you just follow up with them. Like, I offered a customer a party the other week, and she's brand new to me. I never met her before. She got referred to me. I think her sister found me on like a Facebook group, and she ordered on my website, and I connected with her, and then she added her sister in, and her sister's actually a better customer. And I dropped an order off the other day because she kept putting me off about the party, and she's like, I definitely will have a party, I promise. I'm just having my kitchen ripped out. And she genuinely was. I was like, okay, fair enough. So it's just about being consistent with your asking and sort of giving them the option of different things. So you don't have to have a face-to-face in-person party, because some people are still a little bit edgy about that with COVID and everything else. So you don't have to do that. What you can do is do it online. And the very lovely Claire has agreed to talk to you about online scent events. So I am actually going to pass over to Claire because I haven't done one yet and she's on her fourth. So lovely Claire is going to talk you through what a scent event is.
Okay, hi guys. I think the first thing I need to say is I'm no expert at them, and I have pinched Lisa Allwood's idea of how to run it. So if you haven't seen, what was it called, Emma? Mock-up?
It is like a mock scent event. I'll find the link and I'll share it because it's brilliant.
So basically, the amazing Lisa Allwood, she's absolutely incredible. She has set up a complete Facebook group just for us consultants to see how an online party will be run. The whole content is in this group. All you need to do is copy and paste and edit it to tweak it so it's written as you. So I'm no expert. Yes, I'm on my fourth, but these parties haven't created masses of PRV straight away. It's important to remember that these are for the long game. They are easy to run, they're easy to set up. If you're like me and you're really, really busy, schedule the posts in advance when you've got a quick 10 minutes. That's all it takes. 10 minutes, copy and paste, put a few photos together in a group. That's it, you're done. Then you can just let it run on the evening that it's set for. So the way I start these off is just asking people. Don't be afraid to send somebody a message and say, do you fancy doing an online party? It's simple as that. I don't give them any incentive to run one. I don't give them any gift. You can do if you want to, that's totally up to you, if you want to give a little gift out to your hostess. But I set them up with a reward link, and any orders put on the party go through that reward link. So their host rewards, if they build up enough orders, is their gift, basically, their free gift from Scentsy. So let me think how to. So doing the reward link and setting a date is the most important thing to do first. Then it's up to your host, but you need to clearly explain how to your host how this is going to work. They need to be an admin on the groups, make sure you're adding them as an admin, and then they can invite all of their friends, their family, any connections they have on Facebook into the event. You showcase everything. Or I'm not going to tell you what content I put in because it's already in the group. So once we've got the link and share that group into Squad, go in and
Just
have a look
done it.
and make sure you add it in.
I've just done it. I've just shared it. So
okay, so it's already in the group. Just go and have a look, see what you think. But the great thing about online parties is it can be done anytime, purely on Facebook. A group, I think, is better. I've tried it in a WhatsApp event. It didn't work. There was no interaction whatsoever. I've tried it as an actual Facebook event. Again, it didn't really do much. Group, I find, are better for interaction. The more interaction you get, the more it's going to be seen in people's news feeds and the more orders eventually you'll get. But again, remember, it's the long game. It might not happen straight away. I know some people have had amazing results. Like Lisa, I think, has had amazing results from hers straight away.
She had a couple of flops as well, though.
But yeah, she did have a couple that flopped. I think it's just worth trying it and giving it a go. I'm trying to think what else I need to say. I think that's about it, really.
I think connecting with the people that are inside the groups is probably the best thing to do.
So after the event had finished, I sent everybody that was in the group a message asking them if they wanted a sample pack. If they come out, like I said, do you want me to post a sample pack to you? Once they gave me their address, if they were local, I then offered a borrow bag. I also sent them the link to my Facebook group. So it's important to get them back into your customer group afterwards so they can see all the different types of Scentsy, they can get to know you and eventually go on to be good customers. I've had, from the 3 scent events I've done so far, I've given 15 sample packs and I've had 5 borrow bags out, and that's resulted in 3 customers that have ordered at least twice.
That's amazing.
So like, again, it's not instant results. The hard work is afterwards. But I think the hard work is getting everybody into your customer group and actually connecting with the customers. Doing the posts and scheduling the group is simple. It's so easy because all the content's there.
But
But
didn't you say that like some of them didn't actually know what it was as well?
Yeah, quite a few didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and so
But that's the good thing about the content. The content is gold. It explains, it basically starts off with an introduction to you, then it explains exactly what Scentsy is, and the posts are set up so it goes through the different ranges sort of in order. But again, you can tweak it and you can adapt it to however you want. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to use all of Lisa's posts. A few of Lisa's photos are of herself and more personal to her, so you will have to change them. But there are quite a few that have catalogue photos or just photos of the warmers that you can just use straight away. And I've also used some of those posts in my customer group as well, not just in the party.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Honestly, the stuff that Lisa gives us and shares with us is just phenomenal, which is
they are absolutely amazing human beings.
Yeah, it's 100% why she got shown as well last year. She is phenomenal.
They share so much.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, I think that's mainly it. You'll see, or you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the content. So I urge you really to just go and have a look at the group because it's amazing. And if you set one up and you've got any questions, just feel free to message me. I'm always around when I'm not at work, obviously, but I'm going to
do it. I'm going to, this weekend, I'm going to offer some customers an event. I'm going to do it because I haven't done it yet and I keep meaning to do it. And I watched a live that Katrina McLean did about them because she did the same. I think you watched that as well, didn't you? Where she said about adding them as friends and then messaging them if you didn't get any interaction with them, which is like game changer because they're all like what you'd call warm leads. So they're all people that have been added in because the host thinks they'd be interested. So connecting with them is like game changer. Like,
yeah,
and obviously that's obviously changed your perception of the scent events because had you not done that, you'd have just been like, they don't work.
My first two, I didn't do that. I stupidly didn't message people.
I know, but it's easy done though because you just kind of think, oh, it's a scent event and you know that's it, nothing happened in the group and you just kind of move on. But actually when someone then says it, you're like, oh God, why didn't I do that? but that's why we share. That's why we share all these ideas because actually listening to that live that Katrina did completely changed it and now you've got, you know, 3 and potentially more regular customers, new customers. So yeah,
it's important to remember your coach, your host coach. Is that what we call it? Coach hosting? Coach?
Yeah. Host coaching.
You know so you know what I mean. So giving your hostess a clear explanation of how it works, but also what you want them to do. So you're going to need their help with commenting on posts, liking it, sharing it, making sure they're around on the evening that it's set as well, making sure they're there with no distractions that they can help you out, tagging people as well. That's really important.
Because they know their friends and family more than you do. So getting them to kind of do the hard work is basically what it's there. Because on a normal face-to-face party, that's what they would do. Like, do you know what I mean? They'd be around talking to their, you know, talking to their friends and family, you know, showing them the bits that they've bought before and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, you want them to do the same inside an online event as well. Thank you. You might not be an expert, but you are very knowledgeable. So
one more thing, like before we stop talking about it, just don't be afraid is what I'm going to say. Don't be afraid to ask and just go for it and make sure you do your follow-ups afterwards.
Yeah, follow-ups is on my list to talk about actually, because following up with anything, scent event, parties, messages, anything, following up is 100% where you are going to get your orders from ultimately, because I can send a sample pack out, I can send 20 sample packs out, but if I never follow, you know, there are some people that will message me and go, I really want to order, because they'll fall in love with it, and you will get those people. But you will also get those people who put it on the side or let their kids play with it, or I've had that, or pass it to someone else and forget to ask for it back. you know, all of those things. And you will get people that will forget. So following up with people is probably one of the most important things, because I don't know about you, but I've had a message from someone before, opened it, read it, put my phone down because Emily shouted at me, and completely forgot to reply to them. It's the same with your business and people that you speak to. They are just going to forget, because that's just the way that people are. And they've, you know, they've got busy lives. So following up with them and reminding them, this is why I'm so passionate about our sales. Like when we have a flash sale, my customers must get really annoyed with me, because I literally message them about 1 million times a day. But I also get the ones that go, thanks so much for letting me know, because I nearly forgot. So for all those people that might get a little bit annoyed, there are always going to be those people that are like, oh, thanks, because I really need to order some wax. So worst case scenario, they ghost you. Get that a lot. I don't take it personally anymore, because they normally ghost me when they're not interested in what I've got to sell. That's fine. And what they'll do is they'll message me when I have got something they like that I want to sell. Like I had a customer order the hibiscus pineapple flower from the Monday deals on Monday. Was it yesterday? I don't even know what day it is. And she's not ordered from me for ages, but I haven't stopped sharing, because actually she ordered a flower from me yesterday. Thankfully I got it before it sold out as well. But yeah, so you know, you never know when somebody's ready to order. So following up is like 100%. And don't ever be scared about messaging people.
Don't people say that you have to, I don't know where I've heard this from, whether we've heard it when we were with our previous company, you have to see something 7 times to remember. So obviously the amount of times you're posting on your profiles, your groups, your stories, your pages, your Instagram, then you're sending direct messages, that's 6 things straight away.
Yeah,
you just need
it's a psychological thing. I think it's something in the brain.
Yeah, you need to keep yourself at the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah,
so
it's
when
all
you
about
post,
that visibility.
oh, yes.
Yeah, it definitely is, because I've had people like order like presents from me because they've remembered that they've got someone to buy for, and they're like, oh, I need a present, and they message me and they're like, have you got anything? So yeah, 7 times it takes for someone to see something before they actually take action. And that's scientific. That's not just a random network marketing thing. It's something to do with the brain, like the power of 7 they call it. Yeah, I know, it's random. I don't know where I've read that either. I think I watched a video on it a long time ago. But to do with exercise, actually, power of 7 was to do with exercise. But yeah, but
That's
no,
why I
it's
would
true.
it then.
So following up and direct messaging is like you just have to do it. And you know, you have to think of yourself as not Emma. I am Emma the consultant. You know, it's my business, and my job is to get my business in front of people's eyes. So sometimes direct messaging people is the only way of doing that, because they're not always going to see my posts. You know, I don't see everybody else's posts. You know, I could be on Facebook, you know, throughout the day, and still Chris will be like, did you see my post? I'm like, no. He said it to me earlier. He was like, did you see my post? I was like, no, didn't. And I'm married to him, and we're connected on Facebook through marriage, like, because obviously we say we're married to each other. So I should see his post more than I do anybody else's, but I don't. So it just goes to show. So connecting with people in different ways is huge. WhatsApp broadcast has actually changed my business. And I know it doesn't work for everybody, but for me, I've got 30 something people on there now. And so for me to be able to send one message that goes out to 30 people in their inbox has been a massive game changer for me. I had Messenger chat, which my customers actually really liked, but I wasn't getting as much, well, I wasn't getting as many sales as I do with WhatsApp broadcast. And community chat has changed as well. Like, I love the community chat. I've got 3 new customers from posting about my sample packs in the community chat, because reached people in my group that are clearly not seeing my posts. So they got a notification in the community chat that obviously I've put something in there, and I've literally hooked them in by saying, anyone want free samples? And literally I think I sent out quite a few, probably sent out about 10, but I got 3 customers from that, new customers, and one of them's ordered well over £300 worth of Sensu, not all in one go, but over a period of time. And she's become a really good customer, and she's been in my group for ages, and she'd not see it. Well, I don't know if she's been watching, but she physically said, oh yeah, I'd love a sample pack, and then she's ordered loads. So it is worth using those different platforms and messaging people in all those different ways, because it, again, the community chat and WhatsApp broadcast are really simple because you're just doing one message, and I literally copy and paste it over. So I'm only writing one message. It's going out to 30 odd people in WhatsApp broadcast, and it's going out to all 255 people in my community chat on my group. So it is that massive game changer as they were. And I've seen my PRV go up in the past few months. I am always hitting 2,000 at least. And last month I hit 2,500. And that isn't the first time I hit 2,500 in March as well. So it is 100% changed my business, being able to reach more people on sort of like a one-to-one basis. And it's really good for personal specials as well. WhatsApp broadcast, you can say what you want in there because it is going to 30 people, but all as a one-to-one message. So when they message you back, it's just you they're messaging. So if you've got an offer that isn't Scentsy pricing and it's an out of compliance, you don't have to worry because it's only going to it's going to them one-to-one. So no one else is going to see it and report you and all the rest of it. So it's a massive game changer, messaging. And actually you get to know people a bit better. Like, so when I message people, I sent a load of messages out the other day for pods, because I did a pod special and I messaged everyone that had a wall fan or a mini fan. And there's a couple that had been, I think one had been on holiday and the other, something had gone off, I can't remember what it was. But I genuinely messaged them and were like, I hope you had a really lovely holiday. Your photos looked amazing. I know you've not ordered pods for a while. I've got a special on. You want some pods? But, you know, and it was that type of thing. And I think they just, it's all about customer service, which is the next thing and hopefully the last thing, because I don't want to keep you too long now. Customer service is just, I love it. I love loving on my customers, and I look after my customers massively. They get so many samples, they get extras, they get messages. Like I had a customer order on my website last night and they've shipped their order already. I was shocked. And I messaged them and I was like, thanks for your order, and by the way, it's shipped. You know, and that is a tiny little message that took a couple of seconds when I got the email through, but she will be really thankful for that because I've updated her. So customer service doesn't have to cost anything. It shouldn't anyway, really, because the wax samples that you give, I mean, I use all my host credits on wax and scent circles pretty much. Because one, because I warm it like it's going out of fashion, and two, because I love to gift things to my customers. So I'll tell you a story. The other day, I've got a customer whose mother-in-law is also a customer. Now, she hasn't got a lot of money. She's split up from her husband, and she's, from what I gather, I think she's struggling a little bit to pay the bills and keep her house afloat with her teenage son, who lives there with that, who is my customer's brother. And she wanted to order chamomile daisies, chamomile petals even, because it smells like Marc Jacob Daisy perfume. And she was like, oh my God, it's my favourite perfume. And she was like, can I pay cash? And there were a couple of people that I allowed to pay cash because I trust them, and she's one of them, and she lives down the road from me. And I posted it for a letterbox with a note in there saying, you don't need to give me the cash, this one's on me. And I didn't have to do that, but I wanted to because she's so lovely. And Rebecca, her daughter-in-law, buys so much from me as well. And I just thought, you know what, that will cheer her up. So I gave her a free bar of wax because it didn't cost me anything really, because I can pop it on my, I actually had some of it in stock because it's the scent of the month. So yeah, I do lots of giveaways. I give away to my top contributors. I sometimes do like wax bar. So I haven't done that for ages actually. I need to do that again. Where I just give away a wax bar for people just commenting. I just love to look after my customers because they are the people that help me hit 2,500 PRV. They are the people that pay my wages from Scentsy when on the 11th of the month when I get my wages through. You know, they're the ones that are there buying the Scentsy. If they weren't doing that, I couldn't do what I do. So for me, looking after them is like paramount, and it's just like my favorite thing to do, like packaging up their orders, you know, pretty tissue paper, handwritten notes. Like I've got all sorts of things. Like at the minute I'm using these, like these are from the consultant store, and they're literally just notepads. But I just write a note on it and say thank you. And I had some printed. You know, sometimes, especially like my mystery bags, I stick loads of confetti in my mystery bags. And you know, I just, especially when people order on the website as well, I always send something to say thank you when they order on the website for paying the postage. I don't have to do that because, you know, people don't do that to me when I order on a website and pay postage. But for me, I'm grateful for every single order, and I want to make them feel special. And I genuinely believe that's why I've got so many regular customers who buy from me month in, month out, and just genuinely love it as much as I do. I've tried to get them all to join. I'm working on it because some of them would be fabulous consultants. Annie has bitten the bullet, finally.
That's why I held out so long, Emma, because I love your customer service.
I know, but your sister keeps your sister will keep you in Scentsy wages because she orders that much lipping wax. She will literally keep you being paid in PRV and commission, bless her. But yeah, and you know, just looking after your customers is just so important. It's why we do what we do. Like, you know, sharing the Scentsy love is, you know, we love the product so much. That's why we became consultants, so we can share it with everybody else. So yeah, that is probably one of the most important things for me. So I've missed off, oh, it's like 9 o'clock already. I haven't spoken about VIP boxes, which kind of comes within customer service. And I touched on the fact that I do mystery bags and put loads of confetti in them. But a lot of my PRV, so I'm active on the 1st of the month, pretty much every month. Sometimes it's the 2nd, but more or less it's the 1st of the month. And that is my aim, to get my 2000 PRV at least. I have to be active on the 1st of the month, or I'm pretty much probably going to struggle to kind of claw it in. So the way I do that is Scent of the Month. I have a club, a Scent of the Month club. I will actually share it. I think I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. And it's basically people sign up to it. They can cancel it. They don't have to pay each month. It's up to them what they do, but it's Scent of them. So I do it on the 1st. The order goes in on the 1st. So I message them the day before, say it's £6.52, which is the price of the wax bar when it's discounted. And I now charge postage for people that aren't close to me because it's only one wax bar and it's not worth my while to send it without postage. But most of my customers are local that do this. And I put extras in. So I'll tell you what I bought for. So for Pacific Mist, I've bought the Lion coconut bars. Have you seen those? They're in B&M. I don't know what they taste like, but I bought them. And then I bought these, which were like a quid. I don't know if you can see that. They're a quid from B&M. So these are the face mists, like the cooling mist, because you shouldn't really spray ant mist on your face because it's perfumed. So this is just a cheap, like, unfragrance, but it's like just a cooling mist to cool you down when you're hot. And I bought that because it's got mist in the title. And I can't afford to give everybody a fragrance mist. So yeah, so that's what's going in my Pacific Mist ones. That and in B&M they've got multi-packs of lime bars, but they're with coconut and they're blue. So that's what's going in. So nothing massive. Like it was like £1.50 for like 5 bars. So I had to buy 3 packs. So I've got 13 people on my Scent of the Month club. So that was almost 100 PRV just on those. And that's grown. So it started off with 6 and I'm now at 13. And I literally just share it in my customer group and create FOMO. So I literally create, like, you know, 13 people have signed up, who's next, and that sort of thing. And kind of run it like a bit of a, like it's like a book club, but it's you know, a brand new wax bar straight to your door type of thing. And they love it. And so that's 13. So that goes in on the 1st of the month. And then my VIP boxes that I do are monthly, and I do a different theme every month. And this month is Summer Sunshine. Last month was Tutti Frutti. I do all different ones depending on what time of the year it is. I've done all sorts. Annie will tell you, she's had loads of my VIP boxes in the past. And I always do 3 price points, cost of living at the moment especially. So I always do 10, 20 and 30. I never know what I'm going to put in them until I get them ordered, because I just kind of play around with things like clearance, money deals, whatever, you know, bundle and saves. But it's always to fit the theme. So Summer Sunshine, I sold a £20 one and a £30 one this month. The £20 one has got Summer Holiday Wax, Make a Splash Fragrance Mist, By the Sea Scent Circle, and what was the other thing? Vanilla Waves hand cream, which was in the Monday deals. Then I sold a £30 one, and the extra thing I put in there was a pack of pods, which again helped me towards the incentive as well. So those were the things that got me. And I think on the in the clearance I shared about the bundle, you know, the bundle of warmers, it's like 73 quid. I'd shared that and somebody ordered that, so that took me to overactive on the first of the month, and that is always my aim, always, because for me it just makes me feel better when that zero goes from 0 to 200. And if I can get that on the first, that is always my aim. And like I say, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's the second, sometimes it's the third, but my aim is always the first. And Scent of the Month Club has actually been quite a good way of doing that, because it really gives me that boost in the PRV. And obviously this month it also gave me 13 wax bars towards the incentive, which I did a live about earlier, so I'm not going to go on about that too much, other than the fact that to say that you can all do it. You can all sell 100 wax bars and 25 pods in 2 months without fail. I'm telling you, all of you, every single one of you, because wax is our bread and butter. We have Monday deals. There are 4 wax bars in there for half price. If you've got a party you need to close and you've got host credits, any wax and pods that you order on your host credits will go towards the incentive. That was a game changer. I couldn't believe that Scentsy had given us that. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure I would have given you that, but they have. And anything in clearance, whiff boxes, Scentsy Club, any wax bar that goes through your workstation or your PWS and pod is counted towards the incentive. So I 100% want to see all of us with a photo with our camping chairs when the incentive is finished. 100%. Like, honestly, this is probably one of like the best incentives, like levels that we've done. Like the other one we did, if you remember, remember the circles. So we had another incentive where there was like a circle for every single like category that we did. So you had to get 100 PRV for like every category. So that was quite tough. So this is much simpler. So yeah, I really, really want all of us to get it, because I'll be literally beside myself if everybody gets it. So I'm going to share some more stuff about that, and hopefully share some more bundles and share some more ways of sort of boosting wax bars and pod sales, hopefully. So I'm going to wrap up because I've been talking for a long time. Are there any questions? I've not looked in the chat because I didn't want to get distracted, but feel free to unmute yourselves if you have any questions, and I'll have a look. Being authentic, super important. Yes, it is.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've got a page and a group, and I always forget about my page and concentrate on my group, because I was putting the same thing in my group and page, and people are like, I'm concentrating on your group, don't worry about your page. And then they've started liking it. Would you say to leave the page, or would you say to stick with it?
I'd say stick with it on the basis that your page will be searchable. So if somebody searched Scentsy or you or a specific product and you'd posted about it, your page would come up, your group won't. So 100% stick with it. But for me, I put different content on both.
So completely different, because I did the same, and I realized that people were like getting the same things coming up, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably making a mistake.
Yeah, and the other thing I do on my page as well, have you watched Tam's training on business pages?
Yeah,
that is like, rewatch it, because it's absolute gold.
Because that's what made me get the page, because I realized that she mentioned the tags and the questions of, like, you know, Disney, of like, tag your favorite Disney friends or something like that. So
yeah, and do it using hashtags. And I post my website every single post, because again, if people are searching for things and that comes up, and obviously they can click on your website, then it's where you're going to get repeat. And I do get random PWS orders all the time, whether they come from my page or not, I don't know, but I'll take it. So I would 100%. It's kind of like I said, like your customer group is like your little hub of your customers getting to know you. What you want to do is try and get people onto your page, connect with them, and then get them to join your customer group. Use it as more of like a fun. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. Any other questions? I'm going to go through the thing, but I haven't got my glasses on, so bear with me. Oh dear. Didn't know what this. I need to see this group.
I have been keeping an eye on the chat, Emma. I haven't seen any questions.
Thanks, love. I'm glad you have, because I get too distracted. So I was kind of trying not to look at it. I mean, I've got my glasses on, so I can't really read it anyway. I can if I really concentrate on it, but not at a glance.
Through.
Okay, amazing. Okay, I'm going to let you all go and wind down and get ready for going to bed and thinking of all those ideas about how to boost your PRV. hopefully I'll be in your dreams talking to you about PRV. But thank you all for coming. Honestly, I was a little bit concerned that nobody would turn up. So, I'm just going to stop the recording actually. Hold on a sec. How do I do that? Oh yeah, there we go.